My name is Nikita and I want to create a clicker game with Unreal Engine 5, but before that, a bit about me. I mainly work as a front-end developer, the person who shapes and covers buttons, creates animations and builds cool web applications like the one you enjoy using. I'm pretty good at it, but my dream has always been to become a successful indie game developer. Over the years, I tried to make games multiple times, but always ended up being a feature creep, unable to keep the project scope in check, and the decade has passed and I still don't have any games on Steam, so I thought it's finally time to change that. Recently, I've been having a blast with a new genre of semi-auto arena shooters started by Vampire Survivors and carried forward by games like Bro Title and many others. At first, I wanted to make a top-down arena shooter with auto shooting as the scope seemed manageable. But then I thought of doing something different. The game idea is simple. You have a base, a central building you need to protect. Enemies come from all sides of the screen in waves, and you defeat them with your mighty clicks. When defeated, enemies drop experience and gold, which you can use to improve your stats, make more buildings and unlock some special attacks. With the basics outlined, let's dive in. Nobody really wants to look at your game if it looks like a default project with grey cubes and mannequins gliding across the screen, no matter how much time you put into your mechanics. So, to solve this issue, I decided that it's finally time to open my treasury. Each month, Epic Games gives away a group of assets that you can claim and keep forever for your games, and I obediently have been collecting these for the last several years, I guess. So... yoink! Despite having quite a lot of options, I still found that I missed something to click, I would say so. And then I saw him.
Perfection.
Now, when I have everything I need, I decided to compose a simple scene. I also set up a plain static character. My ground is a single colored flat plane, but that's not what's important now. There is a thing known as a game feel, or juice. Juice is everything that adds to the feeling of the game, giving the player sense of power, speed, impact. It includes various effects like sound, screen shake, hit frames, particles, and dozens of others that basically help you to feel that feeling when you hit right. Usually, the game juice is added on late stages of the game, when core mechanics are already established, but my game, at least for now, would have only one primary mechanic – clicking. So, how exactly can we make a simple click fun? Player clicks with their cursors, and there is no way we can go with default one. For some reason, I'm a fan of circular cursors, or circular crosshairs, so I made one, but a simple circle felt quite boring, so I made it to react to player clicks. I also thought that we might use this radius value to represent some kind of mechanic in the future, like a radius of attack or some sort of cooldown, for example. Second one is one of the most important aspects, the sound.
For a really nice sound, 3 parts of the strength goes to your left hand and 7 to your right. Here we go.
Nice.
That's the sound.
A player would hear it a lot, literally thousands of times, so whatever click sounds, it must be good. I started to look for a great click sound because I don't really know how to actually make one from scratch, and then I looked down and saw an answer. My mechanical keyboard was laying on the table right before me, so I thought, what click could be more satisfying than this? So I googled for thockiest mechanical keyboard sound, and once I found the one I liked, yoink, and boom! I really liked the results, so it was time to proceed. Next thing we had to do is to make our click actually do something, and primary goal for a click is to damage enemies that will attack our base, so his time has come. I put a simple animation blend space for walking animations and set up a very basic character using Unreal Engine built-in AI to walk towards the base. Every click damages an enemy, so we need to make a player somehow know about that, and the most usual way of doing so is a health bar. I created a very simple UI bar component that touches to every enemy and shows its health, and now we see that our click does something. But a click that only lowers the health bar is quite boring, so we need to add some impact. To be honest, I really hate when in games your attacks don't apply any impact to the target. It always frustrates me, and I don't want to be that guy. First thing I made was for enemy to stop when damaged. Then I thought about using some animations that were included. Initially, a naive choice was damage animation, but I quickly realized that I didn't really like it. I also tried jump animation, but it also didn't felt good, so I decided to choose a different approach. First of all, I made the click push enemy away. Also, I made a scaling animation for the goblin, so it looks like you just punched a piece of jelly, and it was what I liked much more. I made it so once enemy health reaches 0, he plays a dead animation and then disappears. But to actually call our enemy an enemy, it needs a way to damage us too. So once goblin reaches our fortress, he would stop walking and would start play attack animation. And with every attack animation, some damage would be applied to us. To actually have a way to see this, I copied and modified the health bar I made for the goblin and swapped it on top of our base. This already started to look like a game, but we need more sounds. Sound of enemy damage, sound when fortress is damaged, and some sound of enemy death to start with. At this point I decided that I don't want to spend a lot of time looking for sounds that will actually be replaced later, so... I also added random laugh to the goblins to make them feel more alive. While playing with all this stuff, I realized that killing an enemy should be at least as satisfying as clicking it, but that animation I had didn't really click for the fun for me. So I decided to play from the approach I choose for the click itself. I thought that if the click inflates the goblin, then clicking a lot probably might cause it to explode. I put a placeholder particles to make it fancier and tweaked my damage effect to create an explosion. For some reason my brain instantly made a parallel between the green round goblin and a watermelon. So I just googled a bunch of videos where people were smashing and punching watermelons, thankfully the internet is full of them, and took a sound I like. To highlight the roguelite and RPG features, it's important to actually show the damage dealt besides the health bar, and there is a solution that has been used for decades now. Fine math. And while it may annoy some players, I find it contributing to a satisfying game feel when executed right, especially when you do a powerful move and the numbers vividly display damage inflicted, showing that you did everything right. Setting this was surprisingly straightforward. There might be a need to refine system for performance later, but it works well for now. And I almost forgot to show one small but pretty important effect, damage flash. I set it up by creating a completely white texture with significant emissive amount, and by setting it for a brief moment after enemy was damaged. The last element was giving me doves, a screen shake. It's a very powerful tool, but really easy to do wrong. After some experiments, I still decided to implement a subtle non-FOV altering shake for an attack, a bit stronger one for enemy death, and the strongest and clearly noticeable one when you take damage to bring the player's attention to the fact that, well, his base isn't being attacked. I designed a very basic game over screen that shows score and retry button, made it pop up when your health reaches 0, and now we needed some style. I found this charging explosion effect and started to compose. For the reasons unknown to humanity, my brain absolutely demanded to have Windows 95 sound as the explosion charges. I know I can keep it, but it does what I need for now. And after some composing, we got this. Such powerful move would definitely obliterate those who caused it, so I implemented so-called last revenge move for all remaining enemies. With all of that, I swapped a simple score counter and added a random mob spawn, and now it's already started to look like a game. There is an objective, it's possible to lose, and there is a score, so it's counted as MVP for me. In the next video, we're going to work on the actual systems needed to make this demo more complex and interesting game. This includes a better mob spawning, wave system, getting upgrades, and well, actual levels to complete to not just be stuck in endless defense. A big thank you for watching, especially to those who made it to the end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. As it's first video on the channel, your support would really mean a lot. And see you in the next video. Bye!